In this video we're going to answer the question, should you drive in winch or leave the car in neutral and let the winch do all the work? Now to answer that we're going to be winching this Ford Ranger Raptor up a hill and measuring the force required to do that using my data logging load cells, which measure force in kilograms once every second. And we're going to be putting the Ranger up the hill in neutral and then in drive and then adding a few more revs to help the vehicle up the hill. So here's the vehicle, fairly standard Ford Ranger Raptor, just really got tyres as a modification. And here is the hill, 22 degrees, fairly rough and rutted, and the Raptor cannot drive it standard, it has to winch up this part of it. So now we'll send the Raptor up the hill, and where it stops is where we're going to winch from. We've sent Alberto up the hill already, and his wheels got to about here. You can see that right over here there's a fairly significant rut, and you can actually see people have been wheel spinning on it over here, and also the vehicles tend to run out of ground clearance. You can also see here diff marks and so forth. So getting the vehicle up over this is going to be that will be a good challenge for the winch, and once it's up over that we've got another similar one over here, this rock ledge here, get the wheel up over that. So we got the load cell ready and data logging, we've got all the cameras set up, and we are ready to do the test. So the three clips start at exactly the same point when the vehicle starts moving under winching, and they're all starting from exactly the same position. The neutral car, exactly as it sounds, the car's in neutral, the winch doing all the work. Drive, the select is just placed in drive but no feet on the pedals, and revs, the driver's been instructed to give it about 1200-1300 revs. Not huge amounts, but more than idle. And now you can see the result. And this is a sped up view of the data logger in action. You can see the load cell there connected to the winch. We're doing a single line pull, and it is recording the force measured in kilograms every second to a file which I can load into Excel and analyze, as you will see in a moment. And here's another view of the same three operations.
Now here's a look at the track. You can see that the Raptor's diff was well and truly dragged. We actually did a couple of test winches before we did the recording of the forces, just to make sure that it'll be consistent and the first winch wouldn't be harder than all of the others. So here's the result. Vertical axis is force in kilograms, horizontal axis is time. Now that's the first winch, then we went down the hill, back up the hill, down, up, and so on. Now we did a total of 5 runs, and this is what they look like. This is the first winch up the hill when we had the vehicle in neutral. We had a maximum load on the load cell of 1756 kilograms, and that took 1 minute 43 seconds. This is when we were coming down the hill, and if you're not too careful, and we can actually increase the load if you're coming down the hill and slightly shock load that winch cable, and you see that's what we did on the way back down. So we actually generated more load on the load cell on the way down than we did on the way up. Now then we did the second winch run upwards, and that was with the vehicle in drive, not touching the pedals. So that was only 1458 kilograms, significantly less, and it took less time as well. And this was the third run up the hill. So this was with a few revs, maybe 1300, something like that. 888 kilograms maximum, only 58 seconds. We then re-ran that again, and we found that in the neutral it's 1742, 1 minute 40 seconds, and with drive 1434, 1 minute 26. Then we had a winch problem, so we couldn't do a third run, but I'm pretty sure it would be the same as the previous one. So what can we conclude from that? Well, with the vehicle in drive, we used around 20% less winch effort, which means that the winch is working a lot less hard, and everything is safer, less recovery force, more safety, simple as that. And we're also 13% faster, so there's less strain on the battery all the way around. With a few revs, we had half the winch effort and we were 60% faster. So again, that's reducing. And you can see that even though the winch line went a little bit slack here and there wasn't any shock loading. You've got to worry about that more when you're coming back down the hill when you're going up. So what did we learn? Well, even in drive compared to neutral, you can significantly reduce the winch recovery forces and therefore increase safety. And as a bonus, it works a bit quicker as well. Now, people are worried about winch overruns and shock load, and that doesn't really happen, particularly if you're sensible enough to listen to the winch motor note change. Now, if you add revs beyond idle, then that can decrease the load still further, but then you are likely to overrun the winch rope a little bit. But again, that tends not to be a problem. It's more of a problem on the way back down. So my advice is drive assist your winching unless you really need all of your tyre traction for lateral grip, i.e. when you drive, the vehicle would slip sideways. So I hope you found this video useful. Any questions or comments, please use the comment section, and thanks for watching.